Welcome back, friends. It's Megan from A Seasonal Abode. I am gardening here in Zone 6A, Southern Ontario, Canada. And last night we had a lot of snow. It is beautiful outside right now. It's quiet. There's snow covering all the trees. And I thought it would be nice this morning to take you along, show you what the gardens look like in the snow, as well as share 5 evergreen shrubs or trees that you can add into your garden that will provide that year-round winter interest. When all the plants have died back, it's really important to have some kind of bones or structure to your garden that your eye can rest on when it's a sea of snow. It's nice to have that green, stable interest in your garden. So today I will be sharing those 5 plants with you. As always, I hope you'll consider subscribing, friends. Now let's get to the garden. So the first evergreen that I would recommend that has some year-round interest is called the Picea glauca conica, or the dwarf Alberta spruce. This is a compact, pyramid-shaped evergreen with softer leaves. It provides year-round color, and it's hardy to zone 4. It gets 200 to 250 centimeters high by about 100 to 125 centimeters wide. It can be planted as a hedge or on its own. It is slow growing, so if you are looking for having something that it has some height right away in your garden, I would recommend maybe saving up to purchase a larger size of the specimen so that you're not waiting so long. One of the most exciting features of this plant, I find, is that it's deer resistant and it's not picky on lighting. It can grow well in both sun and part shade. And all around, it is quite a low maintenance plant and a great option for some year-round color. The second evergreen on my list is the weeping Nootka Falsecypress. Now this is a plant that I just recently added into my garden this past fall. So if you haven't seen that video on a new no-dig bed that I am adding on to my sunrise garden in the back of my property, I will link that above. I love this tree. It is like a Dr. Seuss tree. It's truly interesting to look at. Now this is not a small specimen. It can get quite tall. It is a tree. So it can get 9 to 10 meters high and 5 to 6 meters wide. It is hardy down to zone 5. This would be a great anchor piece for a new bed, which is what I'm using it for. And it thrives both in full sun and part sun locations. And bonus, it's not super picky about its soil composition either. The third evergreen is the common emerald cedar, or the Thuya occidentalis. Not only is this a very affordable evergreen, but it is also very versatile as well. These would be great as a statement plant or in hedges, providing some great year-round screening. I have 2 of these planted on either side of the arbor flanking my kitchen garden, and so they're being used more as a statement plant, but I also have a hedge of them in my backyard, slowly growing. So they're beautiful, bright green cedars, and they are very low maintenance. They thrive both in full sun and part sun locations, and they are hardy down to zone 4. They, depending on where they are planted and how happy they are, they can get 4 to 5 meters tall and 1 to 2 meters wide. I'm not anticipating mine to get that large because we live in the north, but I could be wrong. The fourth evergreen that I think should be a staple in every garden is the Buxus, or the green gem boxwood. I know there's a hesitancy with planting boxwoods right now. With the boxwood moth going around, I've seen some very beautiful old hedges in nearby gardens that have been decimated by this moth, which is really sad to see. But I have seen them on my boxwoods as well. But through the growing season, I like to write on my calendar about once every 2 to 3 weeks. I spray my boxwoods with some BTK, and so far it has been not a problem at all, and my boxwoods are looking quite healthy. So if you are looking into investing in boxwoods, I would recommend that you realize that you are going to need to spray for BTK alongside of planting them. So this particular variety is hardy down to zone 5, and it forms its own rounded shape. So if you don't want to prune it, you don't have to if you're good with the more loose look. But you can prune these into hedges as well. The fifth and final plant that provides year-round evergreen interest is the Juniper virginiana, or the blue arrow juniper. Now this is another evergreen that I recently added into my garden this past year. It is great if you're looking for something that gives you some height but not a lot of width. So maybe you have a border that is more narrow, but you would like that anchor, that statement piece, then the blue arrow juniper is the one to get. It can get 250 to 300 centimeters tall, but it stays 60 to 80 centimeters wide. So it is hardy down to zone 3, and it has a medium growth habit. So this is another instance in which I would recommend that you save up the money and start with a larger size specimen. I did not do that, and I am wishing that I had just been more patient and saved up and purchased a larger one to begin with. It is both drought and heat tolerant, and it does prefer a sunny location. So as always, thanks so much for stopping by, friends. This list was not exhaustive by any means. If you have some recommendations, I'd love it if you'd leave a comment below. These are just the top 5 that came up to my mind this morning. So I hope you've enjoyed this video, friends, and I'll see you in the next one.